Hello, good morning and welcome to my page. Felix here once again. Today I want us to look at the top 10 countries that gives PR or permanent residency after you are done with your student visa. That is when you are done with your student visa, it is quite easier getting your permanent residency. And these are the top 10 countries that you have to think about if you want to study abroad. The first destination or the first country that we will talk about is Denmark. For Denmark, you must reside there legally for at least 5 years continuous. 5 years continuous. So if you are done with your, let's say you are undergraduate, you must stay with in the country for at least a year or two before you qualify for your permanent residency. And if you're also done with your, you go there and you say you are going to do your degree, masters, at least you should be there for 5 years before you can get your permanent residency. Now, the second country we'll talk about has to do with Canada. For Canada, it is quite easier getting your permanent residency after you are done with your course, and you can get this through the express entry or through the provincial nomination program. The provincial nomination program, where a province will just select you, or you can just use the express entry based on the points acquisition regards to your studies and whatever points that you accrue, that you use to get your permanent residency. So the second one we will talk about has to do with Canada. So now the third one is Italy. So for Italy, you have to be there for at least 5 years. 5 years. So for them to get in your permanent residency isn't that difficult, and you have to start with a temporary residency, and after getting the temporary residency, that is when you are done with your school. The first residency that you will get as an international student has to be the temporary, and as time goes on, you will get your permanent residency. So for them, they have the two types of residency. They start with the temporary, and later you move on to the permanent. Now the next one has to do with France. So France too, you must stay there for 5 years. So after the 5th year, you qualify continuously staying in France for 5 years. You also qualify for your permanent residency. Now the 5th one is Ireland. For Ireland, you must also stay for 5 years, and you can extend your residency for another 2 years once you are done with your course, or once you are done with your 5th year. So the 5th country that is quite easier getting your permanent residency after you are done with your course is Ireland. Now the 6th country is Netherlands. So for Netherlands too, you have to reside there for 5 years continuously, including the time that you use for your studies. So if you are, just as it is with Denmark, if you are doing it for, you want to do your undergraduate, if the course was 4 years, so after the 4th year, the 5th year will be your postgraduate work permit, and after the 5th year, you qualify to get your permanent residency. After you are done with your 5th year, you qualify for your permanent residency. Now the 7th one has to do with Finland. This is one of the countries that I love going, I love being there, and I love their system. For them, getting their permanent residency is quite easier. You can move with your family, whoever you want to also visit, invite to come and join you. In Finland, you can also invite. So for them, it has to be 4 years, including the years of study. So for Finland, it has to be 4 years, including the years of study. Now, the next one has to do with the UK. The UK too, once you are done with your course, you get your 2 or 3 years postgraduate work permit. You can use that to apply for different job offers, either the tier 2, like health and care, or whatever job application or job opening that is available. Now the 9th one has to do with Germany. For Germany too, you must stay up to 2 years after you are done with your course. You qualify for your postgraduate work permit. So for them to getting a job or getting your permanent residency is quite easier. So Germany. And the last one has to do with Norway, which is part of the Scandinavian countries. So for them too, you can apply for your permanent residency immediately after you are done with your school. That is for Norway. After you are done, immediately you are done with your school, you can apply for your permanent residency, and you must be there for 3 years continuous. 3 years continuous, and with that you qualify for your permanent residency. It has been the case that any time that you want to school, the motive most of the time, the motive is for you to stay after you are done with your course. So in doing so, it is better to take into consideration these countries that I've talked about, because after you are done with your course, getting your residency, it comes easier. If you need any assistance with application of schools and whatever, assistance in visa acquisition and whatever, student visa acquisition too, you can just email us or visit any of the Kumasi or Accra offices for any assistance. Thank you.